Hey friends, today I want to talk about orchids. Now we're going to focus on indoor orchids. Oh, hi Sally, I see you. And not the other 22,000 varieties, because there's a lot of orchids. But you can get these orchids right now at grocery stores. And at one time though, you couldn't. They're very inexpensive now, and they really aren't that difficult to maintain once you have a few of these tips that I'm going to show you today. So let's bring it right down and take a peek at these orchids. Now, the blossoms, what's great about orchids is they're beautiful, they're exotic looking. They seem high maintenance, but they're really not. The blossoms and the flowers will last for weeks. But once the little blossoms drop, what do? Well, you don't throw them out because they will re-blossom again. And I'm gonna show you how you could do that. Now, once again, I said they go back a long time ago. The Greek and the Romans loved orchids. Then the British Empire brought them over, and then they became the craze. And now here we can have them everywhere. So this is what you do to keep them fresh year after year. This little gal, as you can zoom in, is ready to blossom. I got her last year. The first thing is your orchids, they do not like direct sunlight. They like indirect sunlight. They also don't like to be hot. Now we're talking about the indoor ones. They like a cooler temperature. 65 degrees is perfect for them. And they don't like to be watered a lot and wet. They don't like wet feet. That's how you call it. So here's how I do it. It may not work for you, but depending on the condition and humidity in your home, is I put 1 ice cube into my orchids, just like this, once a week. In the winter, if it's a little drier, once a week. If it's a little more moist in the house, every other week. And that's the only thing that I do. Now, also you'll notice these funky little things. These are their roots right here. You do not trim these off. This is the way they grow. They're called aerial roots. Did you get these in the video? And aerial roots mean they like to be free. They like to breathe. They don't want to be tucked in the soil. So you got to take the good with the bad. Some of these funny little roots with the beautiful flowers. Aerial roots, they don't like to be planted in the ground, so let them spread out. Now, if you think your orchid has died, it may not be. If you can see right here, this is the old stem. All I did was have to trim that off, and the new stem grew, and you're gonna get these beautiful new baby orchids. So friends, I'm gonna take you over to my friend's house, Keith. He has a beautiful orchid to share with us. I can't wait. Let's go see. Hey friends, I'm here with Keith. I want to address it very quickly. Love the t-shirt, sweatshirt. We're going to move on. Don't get focused on that. So we're right here with Keith's orchid. Why don't you tell me where you got your orchid first of all?
It was a gift from a friend after one of our relatives passed away.
Okay, so and how long have you had this orchid?
About 2 years.
And has it blossomed early on? What? Tell us about the orchid and its little life.
Yeah, so the first 6 to 8 months, it really did nothing. And then what we did was we started to take a little more better care of it. So we were giving it an ice cube a week, and then we upped it to 2 ice cubes a week. And then we started to give it some plant food, and that's when it really started to take off and blossom.
Now, this particular plant, were you into plants and growing flowers, or is this something new for you?
It's something new for me. In the last year and a half, I really got into it, and I'm really happy with the success here because it's,
it's beautiful. Now, can you zoom in and take a look at these flowers? These are really amazing. But I also noticed something on Keith's orchid. He has a lot of roots. And this is one of the questions that people have asked is, do we plant these? And I think that was one of your questions for me early on. What do you do with the roots? Well, you leave the roots. That's their way that they grow. There's a few other things. Did you have questions for me? There was a few other things about your orchid.
Yeah, so I didn't understand the leaves here and everything. They're getting all like gunky and everything. Is there anything I should be doing with those?
Yes, there actually is. It's very easy. Right now we have a little paper towel, and it has a little bit of milk on it. You want to use something like that, no alcohol, to dry it out. And you can just wipe the leaves off like that. See how it takes off that little film?
Wow.
The leaves breathe better and they're conditioned. That's all you need to do. I use a little milk, or you can use a little bit of beer if you have leftover and it has any bubbles in it. Okay. And then there was another question you, I believe, had this one.
Yeah, so if this is nice and staked up and everything like that, but I was just wondering what can I do with this flower here?
This flower. This is amazing how this has grown. My suggestion is, if you have another little stick, we have one of these that came from their kitchen, you can use things over and over again, is you just pop this in, and then Keith is going to look around, oops, there we go, for one of these little clips. You get them on a lot of indoor plants, and then you just clip it right like that.
Okay.
That's all you need to do. And eventually, if you find another little green stick, or you can use your little shish kebab stick, we don't care. Look, it works. So friends, I hope that you learned something and you're motivated too. I love being able to go out and see different people's plants. And thank you, Keith, so much for sharing this with me. Hope you're inspired, motivated, and let's spread the love.